At Promise Healthcare, mental health is a very important service that they offer. And here today to talk a little bit about it is Anna. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks.
Thank you so much for sponsoring our segment. And I want to first talk a little bit about the room that we're in. So I know if you come to Promise Healthcare, it's a warm environment. It's not sort of sterile for mental health. So can you talk a little bit about the space?
Sure, yeah. I like to keep my the therapy room really cozy and with some reminders like, you know, this is a safe space to be who you are. Boundaries, we talk a lot about that. Just different reminders to help people along in their mental health journey.
And I know seasonal affective disorder is something that is relevant this time of year, especially when it's gray a lot and the weather is cold and maybe people can't get outside. Do you have some advice for people that are struggling with that?
Yeah, I would say if you're feeling low and depressed and you know, you're not having a lot of energy during the day, feeling hopeless, if those symptoms like happen, you know, for a couple weeks, then it might be time to seek help, and we can definitely help with that.
And if somebody is not necessarily willing to call or doesn't want to come in or is hesitant about going to therapy, do you have any advice of things that they can try to help at home?
Well, if you're dealing with depression or seasonal affective disorder, which is like depression, you can reach out to a friend or family member and maybe tell them you're trying to seek help for that. And exercise is helpful, maintaining a good sleep schedule, taking care of yourself is really important. And don't be afraid to reach out for help, because a lot of people are struggling with this as well, and we don't want you to feel alone, because you're really not alone. And I like to help people with their journeys and getting help here.
And I think that that's really good advice, that you don't have to feel scared. Someone else is probably going through the exact same thing that you're going through. And I see that there are also these lights that are here that have different, what do these do?
Oh, they're called light boxes or happy light, and they help with the lack of sunlight during the winter months, and it mimics the sunlight, so you're getting that you know, that light that you wouldn't normally get in the winter months, so it's helpful for your mood and you know, regulating your internal clock that is kind of thrown off in the winter months.
Yeah, I bet during winter, and especially with all the blue light that we're exposed to and stuff like that, this probably would be really helpful. And these you can get just at any store, right?
Yeah, definitely online or wherever.
And besides seasonal affective disorder, what other illnesses do you see people for here?
Pretty much every disorder in the DSM, which is like the Bible for mental disorders, depression, mood disorders, anxiety, PTSD, schizophrenia, like anything that you're struggling with mentally, I like to help with, you know, because mental health is just as important as physical health. I cannot stress that enough. And you shouldn't feel ashamed for getting help for your mental health. So.
Well, thank you very much for all of this information that you shared, and thank you for sponsoring our segment. And if you are looking for some mental health help, or you just want to learn more about Promise Healthcare, you can head on over to our website at CI Living.